we can see that as of 12, like midnight, 00:30:31, 85k Bitcoin correlated to 11 on the extreme fear and greed index. And on the coin market cap, the CMC one, this is the lowest I think I've ever seen it. It's at 10. Even when I bought here, right? That was at 15 both times. 15. That is super duper low. I don't think people realize, like, 15 is mega low, but 10 is taking the actual piss. Like, excuse my French there, but it's taking the absolute piss out of everything on site. So now I've got to go back to the USDC and T chart. And as you'll see, look at these blue trend lines. I genuinely didn't think we were going to get here that quick. I really didn't. That's just me conceding where, look, I looked at the trend. I could probably even just bring that in a bit more like that so they all kind of touch. I really did not think we'd move this quickly in the space of 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Like, we're talking 10%, 10%, 5%. Bruh, that's 30% in a month. That's a major move, like a massive move. So what do I expect here? Well, everything's roasted, right? Like the weekly RSI is absolutely roasted. The daily's ready. Like I said, once it comes down, just like we saw on Bitcoin, and it moves up like a little pop up, that's it. It's gonna full send. The 4 hour, same thing as I've shown on Bitcoin. Basically, I think we're going to get some temporary relief. Do we come up here and tag this one more time and then do we come down? Maybe. I think so. I'll put an alert there anyway for the sake of it. And one thing I wanted to show you was like here where I was buying and I put my stop losses to entry. Unfortunately, some of them just got really badly beaten. So can't deny I did lose on some of the trades going into it. And that's just me being very candid, because if I can't be transparent, then there's no good in learning from my mistakes. Is that this channel had been, we'd been conforming to it for the past like 2 weeks or so. I mean, I could have even put it a bit further down, like down here. So it would have brought us to like the 27th of October. And even that one had been conforming all the way down here. So it was only natural that when we're in a channel, we bounce off the channel, but this just absolutely blazed through. And so the point that I'm trying to get at is it took me by surprise that we actually didn't conform to it. And the manipulation afterwards, like this bit, was ridiculous. That for me was ridiculous. But also it wasn't ridiculous because it then hit the edge of the market, which is fine. The technical work was always in place. I could have been a bit more patient. And you know what? Well, we're reset right now where we're at. So we can be patient and just see where we start next week. And very similarly, like within this pattern, this one's a bit messier. It's a bit harder to tell. But yeah, it was very, very disappointing. Now, the reason why a few people are still calling alt season or alts are going to move, and why we are seeing we're seeing Bitcoin dominance decrease, but alts still getting slapped, is because alts are technically, some of them anyway, doing better than Bitcoin. So some of the coins, I'm not talking about like Fartcoin and SPX and Brett. I'm talking about like the Dino coins like BNB and XRP and Solana and Doge. Granted, they've been smoked, they've been smacked as well, don't get me wrong. But compared to the fact of what Bitcoin's been going through, they've been getting absolutely demolished. Now, similar to what we just saw with the RSI being super weak, right? I kept saying, like, eventually this RSI has to come back down and retest. Once that's done, that's the end of like an alt season or an alt dominant season. That's it. We're done once we get down here. And right now, that seems to be playing out. That seems to be playing out as it should be. So I'm just going to go in a few charts for some of you so we can just see where we're at. So A lot of these coins are still conforming to, like, look at these wedge patterns that I've drawn. A lot of them are still within them, like Solana, right? It's still trying to stay alive within this wedge pattern. I might even just extend this here so that you can see. Right, so we're just still within the wedge pattern. We're still holding on for dear life. Doge. Let me get rid of some of these. I think that was another one. Doge still within this kind of pattern. Don't know about Litecoin. Litecoin has one down here. I think I've got an alert there for 76. There's loads of different coins basically that are still conforming to a wedge pattern. So they've not really trimmed out of a lot. Like Ether's come out of this big channel, but now it's bouncing off this little channel, this little blue channel. So a lot of them are still within where they need to be. For the Brett gang, let me change that to yellow as well. As you can see, we're still conforming. I think it's because I'm on my phone. When I'm on my computer, I think the logarithmic scale changes. So sorry, I keep having to rearrange them. But yeah, this is basically like, look, Brett's just got a nice flick again. I'd possibly say put an alert down there. But I've also got an alert. Where are we now? It's so low, I don't think we can even find anything. Yeah, there isn't anything on this chart anyway. It's still conforming to the actual wedge. The biggest one which I found is Asta. So like, unless Asta comes all the way like crashing down here, which God knows, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But Asta's well and fully like, it's just respecting the technicals. The alt season technically is staying strong compared to Bitcoin. So these are like the coins that I'm on about. The ones that aren't doing amazing, but they're still conforming to a wedge pattern, similar to like Bonk as well, I guess. So like still within this wedge pattern, it's not faded out just yet, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for coins that are still within their parameters. So like even if I drew a Popcat one, all the coins are doing the same thing. They've not actually fully come out of where they need to be. I don't know if this one needs to be like this. Probably like that, actually. So if you see this white line, I'm going to change the color to, it's still conforming. Like I could draw them on all of them, but this is the thing, guys. A lot of alts conform to the same patterns. All I watch for is any coin that moves faster than another coin. So for instance, like Fartcoin, I personally say it's not hit its thingy, but you could argue, just like the other ones, it's already hit, and that's why it's tagged where it's need to tag. See where I'm going with this? They're all very, very similar, and they all do the same thing. They just tag where they need to tag, and then they get the flip on. They keep moving. And that's, yeah, just where we need to be. So let's see useless, for instance. Useless is another good one. Came out a bit, and now, let's see, there. Tagged, still within the wedge pattern. It really is still within the wedge pattern. This is the remarkable thing about all this, that it's still staying within the parameters of where it actually needs to be, which is crazy when you think about it. However, just like on the RSIs, a lot of these have been badly roasted and hammered and just straight up beaten down. Yeah, they don't look like they've got any energy. Some of the charts, like if you watch AVAX, I hope you guys see this in time, what in the market making is this? So AVAX is not allowed to go above 13.34. Neither is it allowed to go down 13.19 unless we want to, just take some liquidity. What in the market making is going on here? Think about it. It's just staying stagnant, right? It can't go anywhere. Which way do you want to go? You want to go up? You want to go down? Which way? Pick your fire. Same with Solana. It's just going sideways. explosion incoming. Same with Doge. Like, it's tricking everybody. Like, oh, buy here. Oh, no. I'm going to buy here. Oh, it's going to go back down. Oh, we're going to buy now. Up, down. Like, this is just demolishing people's confidence, and very much more so everything else that's in tune with it. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I think I've spoken enough. The SPX gap is now at 6614. I'd be waiting on Monday and Tuesday just to see where those gaps end up. There is still a gap below from what I recall. And sorry, there's a gap above. We filled all the gaps below, which is good. We've still now got gaps above on the SPX, which is great. So we've got 1, 2, and then 3 up here to fill. So SPX is looking promising. It's looking like it can move. And then finally, looking at just some final indicators, right? So I will go... The pi cycle top is like, this indicator just not worked whatsoever. It's just nowhere near worked. So we can ignore that. The Bollinger Bands, we are well out of the Bollinger Bands. Like, completely out of the Bollinger Bands on the weekly. And as you'll know, like, whenever we fall out of Bollinger Bands, not saying like even on the upwards trend, we somehow still try to cling close to, you know, the banding itself. So let's look here. Let's look in a bear market. Like, look, it's come out, but then we go sideways a bit. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to go up, but I'm just saying when we come out of the Bollingers, we tend to come back in. But with this, good lordy, like, this is the first time I've seen us just nuke straight out of the Bollinger Bands. So that's why I'm thinking Bollinger Bands up here, 95, 98. For me, it's a given. I really do think it's a given that we are going to end up back there. Okay, and then the final, maybe 1 or 2, the halving cycle. Those are the OGs that are with me, that have been with me throughout this whole journey. I really appreciate everyone. The profit end actually ended a couple of weeks ago, and actually that was actually bang on. That predicted the end of the cycle. It's just a shame because alts didn't really get the full send that we wanted to, but that's just life, unfortunately. And then M2 Global. I think I've got to do this on the daily. Let's see. I'm sure it's the daily that works. Yeah. So this downwards momentum has not correlated to M2 whatsoever. And that's the thing. A lot of people were clinging on to M2. And I kept saying to people, yeah, M2 to a certain degree, but not M2 when we move sideways or upwards. So like, look, Bitcoin's end of the cycle was like here, right? On that dot, which, you know, to a point I agree with. Then when it moves sideways upwards and then like it looks like it's going to come down now, M2, that's it. That's the end of it. Because there's no more money printing that's going on. As far as I'm concerned anyway. Okay, guys, that's definitely it from me. Wishing you all the best. Like I said, temporary relief. I do think we're going to go up. Long term, I think start positioning if you've not already positioned in shorts longer term. And this is it. This is where the market gets quiet now. People will not really be trading. Markets get really boring because it's just down, 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 down. Sideways, down, 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 sideways, sideways, up, sideways, up, sideways, up, down, 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 down. So, yeah, the next year is just going to be really, really boring, unfortunately, guys. That's, for me, the end of the cycle. After we've had this relief period, in the next, like, 2-3 months, that's it. It's just pretty much boring price action. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one, whenever that will be.